Considering we're being bounced all over the place, this suspension is so much better than it was on the previous model. It should be okay on the lanes. As you can see, they say mixed tour. I don't know what the mixed touring is, road and road, I would say. And I've got to be careful because, I don't know if you noticed, this has no bash plate. Keep an eye here. If that starts lighting up, then traction control's still on. Have to drop into it, around the tree. A little bit of slippage at the back. So what's up, my friends? Welcome back to the channel. You know I love having you here. We're out today on the new 2025 Transalp 750, the XL 750. My little CL500 is currently in for a service, so I spoke to Ian down at Doble's and he said take the Transalp for a bit of a spin. So that's what we're doing, a quick first impressions ride of this. So what we're going to do is going to do a little bit of road riding, we're going to have a walk round, and then I'm going to take this on a little bit of off-road. Nothing gnarly, it has got road tyres, but it's dry, so a little dusty track might be all right. This one as well does have a quick shifter fitted. It's an up and down quick shifter, and we've got it in sport mode at the moment. As I said, this is a quick little first impressions ride, well, kind of a second impressions ride, because I did the Transalp when it came out. This is just the updated version, and already off the bat I've got to say the suspension is much better than it was before. It was a little bit wallowy before, but this seems so much more, I don't know what the word is, progressive, planted, stable, all of those. It's a really nice perch to be on. Right, let's get my formalities out of the way, just so you know where I'm coming from with these first impressions rides. I'm 6'2", wide in the shoulders, long in the legs, got long thigh bones, and I'm about 17 stone. People ask, why do you always say that? And it's just so you know where I'm coming from, because if you want to test ride a bike, go and test ride it for yourself. My opinions might not be your opinions. We're all different, we're all built different. So yeah, go out and have a play if you can. I'm not a professional journalist. If you've been to this channel before, you will know that without any shadow of a doubt. I'm just a bloke that likes to have fun on bikes. And I do like an ADV bike, I've got to admit. I've had 3 Africa Twins, 2 CB500Xs. I've currently got an NX500, a CL500 Scrambler, a CRF 250 Rally, and a Super Cub, just for fun. Right, while we're doing this, we're just pooning along basically on tick over. It's very well balanced at slow speeds. Doesn't feel like it's going to stall, not chuggy at all. The actual throttle doesn't feel snatchy. It feels a lot more snatchy on my NX500. I have to slip the clutch more. Right, so let's get the boring bit out of the way, which is the ergonomics of how I get on with it, with the triangle, the seats to bars to peg ratio, that kind of thing, what it's like to actually sit on. And it feels pretty comfortable. The pegs are a nice height, probably could do with being a touch lower for me, but not a deal breaker. They're very comfortable, they're very grippy, they've got the little rubber bit on and the serrated edge underneath, so if you do stand up, you kind of dig into the serrations, which is nice, but we will see that when we do the walk round. I'll show you that. The bars are a nice width apart. I kind of feel like they should be slightly wider, but not too bad. And that's just me because I'm wide in the shoulder, but the slimmer bars does make it better for commuting, so it's not all bad. Well, it's not bad at all, to be honest. The seat is very comfortable. I mean, I have just come off my CL500, which hasn't got the best seat, let's be honest. So this is a nice step up. It's quite spongy. It's quite nice and soft. I like that. And it's not too thin. It's wide enough that it supports everything. I'm explaining this in a weird way just to say basically it's quite comfortable. I don't know what it's like over long distance, obviously, because we're not doing long distance today, so I can't feed that back to you, but I'm pretty sure it'll be okay. It doesn't throw me forward like some other seats into the tank where your nether regions are just squashed up and quite uncomfortable. It feels like it's going to be a nice place to cruise all day. Right, the frontal area and the wind blast, I am getting a bit just under the peak of my crash helmet because it's got quite a low screen. We're getting it, yeah, just around the peak, so when we're going to get a little bit faster we might get a bit of buffeting, but at 40 miles an hour there's no buffeting at all. There is wind, you can feel it, but it's not annoying. But as I've said on many videos, it's very rare that I get a screen that actually suits me being tall. But if you're going to do off-roading, you want a shorter screen anyway. And everything's customizable, so get a taller screen, get a shorter screen, do what you want. Right, we shall go up here and have a quick play on a road that I like. Pretty bumpy, back road, kind of where these bikes are designed to ride. I've got to remember it's got a quick shifter. Every time I ride a bike with a quick shifter, I still change gears the old-fashioned way. And I kind of forget, and when I do use the quick shifter, I back off the throttle. I'm such a bloody amateur. Bit bumpy there. I've got to say, it handles this bumpy road exceptionally well. It feels so planted. Considering we're being bounced all over the place, this suspension is so much better than it was on the previous model. It's got quite a bit of kick as well when you open the throttle. It's got a nice bit of torque. This 750 engine is fantastic, and it does sound good as well because it's got that 270-degree crank. I'm very impressed with how it handled that. It didn't skip, it didn't bounce. You could feel the road was pretty terrible, but it soaked it all up nicely without being sloppy. That felt good. I'm bloody impressed. Right, let's go and have a walk round. Right, so here we have the 2025 Honda Transalp, the XL750. We're going to have a little bit of a walk round and I'm going to go through some bits with you. Nothing spectacular, I'm not an expert, I just kind of read the bumps before I came out. So we shall have a little look round. If you do need to know anything, drop downstairs in the descriptions box and I shall leave the link to all the specifications for this down there, and also to Doble's website. It's Doble's that gave me this bike, so thank you very much to Ian, the general manager. If you are in the area, go and check them out. Once again, all the information will be downstairs in the descriptions box. So let's go kind of front to rear as we normally do and just go through it a little bit, and then we'll go a little bit through the dash and a little bit through the handlebars and the lights, that sort of thing. Let's crack on. So at the front we've got a 21-inch front wheel that is tubed with upside down forks and twin discs with Nissan calipers. This one is running obviously road tyres, as I said before on the way up here, which gives it nice grip on the road, to be honest. And then if we work our way back, it's the 750 engine which they use in the Hornet. I shall put all the specs downstairs as I've just said, so go and check those out, with that 2-into-1 exhaust that sounds nice, and I can guarantee if you put an aftermarket can on there it will sound very nice indeed. This one is in the white. I believe it comes in grey and black as well. They've got a black one in the shop. Right, so down to the foot pegs, you've got the squidgy rubber on here which does a good job of ironing out all the little vibrations and road kind of indentations. It gives you a little bit more cushioning on the feet, but underneath you have got the serrated edge, as you can see there. So when you put pressure on staying up, it compresses through to that, so you can run it with the rubbers and then use the serrated edges when you stand up. Well, with my weight it does anyway. If you're lighter it might not, but you can take them off. There's a little bolt underneath, I don't know if you can see that. There's a little bolt underneath there, and this rubber bit will come off. Back here, pillion foot pegs, just your standard metal ones, and that brings us up to the seat. So the pillion, it's not a bad little pillion spot there, and as I said before, this seat is actually quite comfortable. Got a nice little rear rack on there, so you can put your plates on there, back boxes or any luggage or stuff like that. And then down here is an 18-inch back wheel, and what this bike is running is Dunlop Trail Max Mix Tours, which I've had before and they're okay. They do a good job. So again, tubeless, ABS front and rear, Nissan caliper on the back as well. You've got LEDs front and rear. We shall turn those on in a little while and give you a little look at those. Round this side, obviously chain driven, foot pegs, and then what you've got on this one is you've got the quick shifter. It's an up and down quick shifter. It's actually pretty good. I quite like it. I'm not used to riding bikes with quick shifter, so it seems a bit jerky. That's all my fault, nothing to do with the quick shifter. I'm just at the wrong revs. You might notice this bit's missing. There's a panel that goes on there. He was going to fit it for me. Someone had damaged it. It had a scratch on it, so he did have a new panel and he was going to fit it, and I said, don't worry about it, I'll just point it out in the video. They're not optional extras. It's just this panel here for the other side. But yeah, it's sitting in the box ready to go on, but I got kind of impatient and I said, no, I'll just take it out as it is. Doesn't affect the riding. So just be aware that that bit is missing, although I quite like it. But it does give us a chance to look at the rear subframe. It's like a trellis frame in there, which is nice, so it does make it a little bit more sturdy. Let's have a quick look at the lights. The lights have changed this year. So on the front, you've kind of got those twin lights now, much better than the standard one they had before. I much prefer the look of this with your LED indicators. It is really nice. Let's throw a full beam on. And that is really, really bright, to be honest. So I'm assuming at night they're pretty good. Round the back, you've got your standard LED light and indicators. There seems to be pretty much on all Hondas these days. Suspension in there, I don't know if you can see it. It's just a single monoshock with, I assume, preload adjustment only. Right, so let's have a little look at the handlebar area. Right, on the left hand side, you've got clutch, you've got your flasher, your push to pass and your full beams. You've got your mode button there. You've got your little joystick there, which is backlit, hooter or horn, whatever you want to call it, and indicators. Over the other side, you've got your front brake. This one is adjustable. I'm pretty sure that comes as standard. You've got your starter and kill switch. Underneath, you've got your hazard warning lights and obviously your throttle. Right, let's have a little look at the screen. Right, this is pretty much the standard Honda screen now. So I'll quickly run through it. It's nothing spectacular. I'm not going to give you any in-depth knowledge and go through the settings and that sort of thing. I'm just going to briefly go around the screen. So we start top left where you've got your traction control light on. Obviously that goes off after 5 miles an hour, and I'm assuming if you put it in gravel mode that goes off or reduces it dramatically. We shall find out in a minute. This bit here, that is telling you what mode you're in. We'll go through those in a minute. Then you've got your neutral and your gear indicator. You've got your quick shifter symbol under there. You've got your fuel gauge, you've got rev counter, you've got your speedo. This is only on because I've got the ignition on, but I haven't started the bike. That should go off when I do that. You've got favorites. You've got a little menu thing here which you can scroll through using the little joystick down there. And then underneath you've got a volume, which is to do your Bluetooth and maps and stuff like that. This will connect to your phone using the Honda Sync. I've got it on my NX500 and it's actually not a bad system, to be honest. A little warning triangle up there, again that will go off when I start the bike. With temperature and time, 31 degrees. It's not, it's about 27. It's bloody lovely. Right, so let's quickly do the modes. So you've got, there you go, we got rain, gravel, you've got user 1, user 2, so you've got 2 customizable modes. That's good, so you can have it how you want. And then you've got standard and then sport. We're running sport on the road for today. Around the outside you've got all your idiot lights like your ABS light, your hiss, indicators, engine management, full beams and all the normal stuff you get round on the screen. Or if you want to know more, check out downstairs Doble's website, give them a call. I'm sure they can help you out. Right, we're just going back to the GoPro now because I want to show you under the seat, and it's a lot easier when my hands are free. So that's what's under the seat. You haven't got any space for storage. You've got a little toolkit, you've got your battery and all your gubbins there. So that's under the seat. It's exciting, wasn't it? No, not really, but there you go. I know some people like to look under the seat, and that was very easy to put back on as well. We like that. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take this bike out. We've got some lanes round here, not too far from here. It is nice, dry and dusty, so it should be okay on the lanes. As you can see, they say mixed tour. I don't know what the mixed touring is, road and road, I would say. They might do all right in the gravelly stuff. We shall find out. We're going to put it in gravel mode and we're going to go and have a little bit of fun. Not too much, as I said before. I'm not an off-road god. I'm not even an on-road god. I'm nowhere near a god, basically. I just ride bikes and I kind of wing it and we get through. So that's what we're going to do. What I just wanted to point out was I'm completely flat-footed on both sides with my knees bent. That's just to give you an idea of the length of my legs. So seeing as we're coming into a little bit of traffic in a town centre, we shall see what it's like on a little bit of a commute. I'm not commuting, obviously, but you get where I'm coming from. A little bit of slow town riding. This is Dorking. It is lovely around here. I personally wouldn't use the quick shifter for this slow stuff. It works much better when you're going a little bit faster. I find it a little bit clunky when you're slow riding. It works okay, the quick shifter, on the up when you're going slow, but it's a bit more on the down where it's clunky. But just plodding along 15 mile an hour in second gear, it's really comfortable, really well balanced, doesn't feel like it's going to flop over. Don't let the 21-inch front wheel put you off. Yes, it's going to be a little bit slower turning, but you just have a mellower ride, that's all. I've had lots of bikes with 21-inch front wheels and I quite like them. Right, so we've just turned off on this public byway, which is a boat, which means byway open to all traffic. So we're going to take it down here. It has been dry, so I'm hoping it's just a little bit dusty and dry. It is quite hard packed. There's a bit in the middle that might be rutty, and I've got to be careful because, I don't know if you noticed, this has no bash plate, no belly pan. So we're going to take it easy on bits. As I said before, I'm not an off-road god, so don't expect much. We're going to have a go from the perspective of a normal guy. Right, so let's change the mode. So that's rain, gravel. So we're in gravel now. I'm not sure if that turns off traction control fully. Keep an eye here. If that starts lighting up, then traction control's still on. There probably is a way, if you look at the handbook, to turn it off fully. I've got no doubt about that, but I haven't looked at the handbook, so I don't know how to do that. So we're hoping that does the job. If it doesn't, as I said, look at the handbook or go on a forum somewhere and someone will tell you how to turn it off fully. But we're going to have a go. Gravel mode, quick shifter, no off-road boots, so we're going to take it easy but have a little bit of fun. Don't judge me, I'm just saying, don't judge me. This is from the perspective of an ordinary fella. Right, so we can stand up, just cover the back brake a bit, and remember I'm on road tyres and full pressures and 100% full of excuses. And it's not my bike, obviously. Yeah, the traction control light was flickering then, so it's not fully off, so I'll just be aware of that. No slidage, or not too much anyway. I mean, it does all help. Yeah, obviously if this was my bike, well not obviously, but I'm going to tell you, I would put bar risers on, change the angle of the brake lever for the foot because it's a little bit low, and probably change the angle of the gear shift as well for my off-road boots. But it's okay with the little shorty boots I've got on today. And this is what this bike's about. It's an ADV bike. So if you have got one, or any ADV bike, go and take it out on these little trails and explore. That's what they're about having fun and going exploring. It's usually a bit sandy and rocky down here, so just be a little bit careful. We did have a storm last week, so I'm not sure if that's washed any gullies or ruts into the road. I'll tell you what, it gives it a lot before the traction control light comes on. So on that slope back there, it must have just been hopping a little bit for it to come on. Oh, it's a bit wet here. Wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting any water. Oh dear, gonna get the bike dirty. Yeah, the traction control light was coming on in a little muddy bit there. As I said, these are not the best tyres for off-roading. But this suspension is so much better. It feels really nice. It gives you feeling. The suspension before was a little bit wallowy, as I said, and didn't really give you much feeling. But this, it's nice, and you can lean forward, dig your knees in the tank. That's nothing to do with the suspension. I just thought I'd say that. Slightly rutted here. I haven't got much grip on the front, so I have to be a touch careful. Oh yeah, you can see it's created a bit of a rut. Got to say, this engine is really nice off-road. I've only got it in second gear, and we're playing between, what are we on, 3,000 and probably 6,000 revs. But an half pick up. And even when I'm gunning it a little bit there, obviously not flat out because I can only go as far as vision can tell me, it does feel really nice. And even sitting down, pressing up against the tank, sits you far enough forward that you can get the feeling through the front if you are sitting down. So we're just keeping it in second for this whole lane. I could easily put it up to third and just chug, but this second gear is nice. Right, bit of a rut, dodgy front tyre. Right, second gear just chugging. Standing up, what are we doing, 13 miles an hour, chugging along in second. Nice and stable, even standing up. Feels really good and solid. The suspension and the upgrades they've done to it is a marked improvement. It is so much better. So what I'm going to do is do a little bit more off-roading back up this track, and then when we get to the end of this, I'll give you my conclusion and what I think of it. Would I buy one? You know how it goes, you've been here before. So let's have a little bit more fun before the battery runs out in the camera. Small rut in the middle. Have to drop into it. Around the tree. A little bit of slippage at the back. Now I'm actually getting used to the standing up position on this. I don't think I would actually need bar risers. I'd roll them slightly further forward, just a little bit, so they're slightly higher, just roll them, and I think we'd be all right. That's what I did with my old Africa Twin. I rolled them forward and they were fine. I've done my CL500 like that as well, and it actually feels quite nice. The way the foot pegs are on this, and the fact that you can grip the tank with your knees, oh, a little bit slimy. It stands you up in a nice position. It's actually really, really comfortable. As I said, I would adjust the brake lever and the gear shift for me off-road boots, but apart from that, we're doing well. I'm liking this bike. It feels really comfortable, standing up and sitting down. And it's tackling this, even on road tyres, with no problem whatsoever. So the only thing lacking is probably my skill. Of grip from the road tyres, obviously. Sorry it's the same lane, but the other lanes I know will probably require a bit of a bash plate, so it's not my bike and I want to return it in one piece. Fingers crossed. I've got to admit, I'm fast becoming a big transalp fan. I wasn't too sure when the last model came out. I test rode it and I could take it or leave it. This one, I could probably take it. I've probably ruined my conclusion now, haven't I? Whether I would or would not buy one of these. I'll tell you what, let's go through the conclusion while we're doing the little off-road section. What do I think of it? Well, the ergonomics I really like. Standing up and sitting down, it's really, really good. The suspension is a massive improvement. to what it was before, or at least I think it is. I may have just been more unskilled back then. It just feels so nice to ride. It's very supple but not soft and wallowy. Considering this is straight out of the box and you can do this, absolutely fantastic. Engine, I bloody love it. Very tractable. It's got a lot of torque. Sounds immense with that 270-degree crank. It's just an all-round good bike. The only thing that would put me off is tubed tyres. I've had a few punctures lately, and tubeless is so much easier to fix at the side of the road. But then you can get a tubeless system and just fit it to the wheels, so not a deal breaker. I'm bloody loving this. It's definitely more of an ADV bike now than it was before. I would have put it into a 90% road category before, whereas now I'd say it's genuinely a 50-50. I would put a high level exhaust on it, and of course that'll make it sound absolutely awesome as well. The suspension is so much better, and I'll keep banging on about it, but it is. The TFT screen is evidently new, but it's just a TFT screen. I've got it on my NX. Headlights, much better. I prefer these ones, they look so much better. And evidently they got a better spread for your viewing pleasure. So all in all, would I buy one? 100% yes. I'm actually tempted to go back to the shop and buy one now. I really am. But I can't afford it, so that's a good thing. What modifications would I do to it? Obviously I get the crash bars, the bash plate, a little bit of luggage or maybe some rackless luggage, change the tyres, get it made tubeless. So I'd have to spend a bit of money on it obviously, but all in all I absolutely love it. I really do. The last model left me a little bit meh, whereas this, with those subtle changes, I could wear one of these quite easily. And on that note, I'm going to bid you farewell. Don't forget to drop down to the descriptions box and check out all the specifications for this down there, and also Doble's website. Go and give that a click and go and say hello. Once again, thank you very much to Doble's. They're in Coulston. If you are in the area, check them out. Go in, grab a coffee and have a chat. Ian, the general manager, as per usual, if you do go in, he does love a hug. He doesn't, but I keep sending in people for hugs and he's just going to have to put up with it. So thank you very much, Ian. I really appreciate it. Go and check out Doble's, go and check out the specifications for this. And on another note, I would also get the quick shifter. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, to like, to share, to do all those things that you need to do. Also hit that notification bell so you guys can get the drop on these videos. I shall see you on the next one. You know I love you all. Stay safe. Fish out.
Get all your bags, get out my house. I don't want your stuff around. I never did you wrong, but you did me wrong. So go ahead, get gone. Get all your bags, get out my house. I don't want your stuff around. I never did you wrong, but you did me wrong. So go ahead and get gone.